this is Peyton Edmonds doing our saxophone demo video with our student of the day, Mr. Brady Dillon. So, Mr. Dillon, are you excited to get some saxophone going today?
This is the moment that my entire life has led up to.
Right. In realistic time, it's about, I don't know, like 10 o'clock at night time. So we're gonna go ahead and start by just taking some good old deep breaths. So let's do it. Let's do them together. Let's do them nice and. We're gonna try to engage our body completely to get a good breath. Ready? 1, 2, ready, in, and then out. All right. Let's put our saxophone together. Let's go ahead and start by opening up our case. We can find our case because the front of it is going to have, on the top is going to have a logo. We're going to have the latches facing towards us. We're going to unlatch them and we're just going to flip it open. Just kidding. We're going to unlatch it and we're going to slowly open it up. Whoa. All right, and that right inside is a beautiful saxophone.
Awesome.
Now, we got a lot of stuff that we got to get done in a short amount of time, so we're going to go ahead and do a speed tutorial, starting with number 1, our reed. We've got to be very, very careful and delicate with our reed because it's a tiny little piece of wood. It's just a tiny little wood chip. You can very easily break it and chip it, and these cost money. So we're going to go ahead and start by wetting our reed by putting it in our mouth. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and put it in this cup so I can continue to explain. I already have my neck strap on, but let's go ahead and throw on that black neck strap there. Nice and fancy. Some of my students might have a slightly different neck strap, and that's going to be totally fine. As long as you have something that's going to hold your saxophone to your body, we're all good. All right, let's go ahead and get to our mouthpiece. So our mouthpiece is going to be this tiny little thing in the bottom left corner for most. Inside, we have a little gold piece, and we have a little black piece. The black piece, the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece.
The mouthpiece.
The gold piece, the ligature.
The ligature.
The ligature.
The ligature.
Now, together, they form big mouthpiece. So, we're going to go ahead and flip our reed so that it's soaking on the other side now, the short side. We're going to take it from the short side and soak it in. We're going to go ahead and take the ligature out, and we're going to put it right back in our case to where we can easily find it, because we're going to grab it again, so don't just yeet it out of existence. Oh, all right. Try to stall just a little bit of time so that we get a nice wet mouthpiece. Let's go ahead and see if our mouthpiece is good. What's going to be a good way that we can check on our mouthpiece? Do we have any ideas, Brady?
If I had to guess, probably when it sticks on the black part of the mouthpiece.
You know what? That is incredible. I didn't even know that you knew that, but yes, that is correct. We got an anti-gravity reeds over here. Now,
that's just a guess, though.
You know what? But that guess is completely correct. Another good way to tell that I like to do is shine it up towards the light like the Holy Grail and gaze upon your reed. And see that it's a little bit transparent towards the top? You see how you can kind of see the light through it a little bit? Wow. That's how you know that it's nice and absorbed. So let's go ahead and put our reed on our mouthpiece on the flat side. And we're going to line up our reed at the tip of the mouthpiece where we can just barely see a little bit of black. And with our thumb, we'll hold it in place and grab the ligature.
The ligature.
We got to be very, very careful whenever we're putting on our ligature because we can easily chip our reed. So we're going to go slow with them facing to the left. We can adjust our reed if it moves just a little bit. Just try to be very careful. And then screw, bottom screw, then top screw. Don't go insanely tight. We don't need to do any macho man strength over here. Now, we got ourselves a little mouthpiece. This is our little mini saxophone, the tiniest little baby saxophone that we could possibly have right here. Just imagine the rest of it right here. We just got it in our hand, but this is our saxophone for right now. We need to figure out how to make our saxophone make some sound. So, we're going to go ahead and try to imitate a good sound like this. So we started to kind of get there. Now, what we want to focus on is two things with our mouth. We got to think about our teeth, our nice beautiful chompers right here, and we got to think about our lip. Our teeth are going to anchor down, not bite down, but lightly rest on top of our mouthpiece. And our lower lip is going to stay nice and calm, but we're going to make like an ooh shape with our lips. We're going to keep it nice and relaxed, but underneath to seal the bottom of our mouthpiece. We want to get a nice seal and then have a good amount of mouthpiece in our mouth. Whenever we blow into it, some of our common mistakes might be that we have too little bit of mouthpiece in here. where we're not getting the reed to vibrate at all. We have too much, and we're getting just so much vibration that it's kind of hard to do. All right, so we're gonna try to focus on making a good sound. Our note that we play when we play on our mouthpiece is a concert A. But let's hear it on a saxophone. So, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on real quick. And we're going to try to imitate a nice concert A, which sounds like this. So let's try to imitate this pitch. I'm going to go ahead and play it first, and then I want you to hum it while I play it, and then I want you to play it on your mouthpiece whenever you feel like you're ready. That was absolutely perfect. So our biggest focus is going to be making sure we have a good stream of air, we got a good shape in our mouth, and we're making the perfect tone every single time. Let's go ahead and put the rest of our saxophone together so that you look like a pro like me. So we're going to go ahead and take our mouthpiece, and we're going to put it into its case. We got that little black case kind of holder over it. We can just take the whole thing with the reed and put it right into here.
I'm scared.
The cool thing about this is when you put this inside, it will actually keep the reed pretty moist, so you don't have to worry about constantly putting it back in your mouth and stuff. So whenever I'm in the middle of teaching like a lesson in class or something, we can go ahead and do that, where we just take it off, put it in the case if we don't need it, if we're not working on anything in rehearsal. It might be a good way to keep it wet. So I'm gonna act like I don't have my saxophone right now. And we're gonna go ahead and start by picking up the body of the saxophone. Now, the body we're going to take with our right hand, and we're going to come down, and we're going to grab by the bell. Now, when we grab by the bell, we'll pull it up, and we're going to put it on our lap. Take our body and put it on our lap. Now, with our neck strap, we're going to go ahead and strap it in place.
Wait, let him cook. Let him cook.
Wonderful. Now, we want to make sure that at all times we keep one hand on our saxophone, preferably by the bell, while we grab our next piece, which is going to be our neck. It looks like this little curvy L kind of thing.
I see it.
Right. Yeah, really good. Can you grab it? But before you grab it, think about how are you going to be able to grab it in the safest way possible. I would suggest
Probably like this.
You know what? You're really, really close, but make sure you don't punch down on it. It looks like you're going to just come down and just Hulk smash it. Just be very, very careful. When you grab, you'll want to wrap around the very top right here, just like so. Grab it, and we're going to connect it into place here. Oh, yours does have a black thing. That's a little stopper. We're going to go ahead and take that out and yeet it into our case so that we can find it later. Now, we're going to put our neck where that little stopper was in a light twisting motion.
I know I can. I know.
Yep, we're almost there.
Mine's a little tight.
Yep, you might need to unscrew that first. There you go.
Tab. Oh. Like butter.
There we go. When we put our neck on, we have a line that goes down the side of our neck. We want that line to match up with this line that goes straight down in front of it, that kind of touches the hoop of the neck. Line to line. And that's going to keep us going straight down. Now, we're going to take our mouthpiece that we've already made, that we've been getting a really good sound on.
Great sound. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And we're going to, in the same idea, a light twisting and pushing, we're going to connect it onto the mouthpiece. What I like to do is grab the same way that I grab the top of it with my left hand. I'm going to grab the same way with my right hand, or your left hand, whichever hand you feel most safe to push your mouthpiece on. And do it like so. Now, I would prefer that whenever you're putting your mouthpiece on, to have the bell resting on your lap or on your knee rather than on here, because it looks like you might be putting a lot of pressure on these keys over here. So having it down here where you can anchor a little bit better might help out.
That's huge.
All right. Now we've got our saxophone. Let's get it into the firing position. Go ahead and just slowly bring your saxophone up and see if your mouthpiece lines up with your mouth. If you look up at me and you look up at Brady, there is a clear difference between where our mouthpieces are sitting. Brady is actually a star student right now, and he's sitting with the mouthpiece just perfectly resting on his mouth. Mine is actually slightly under, resting on my chin. So I'm gonna pull up that neck string so it's nice in place. Let's go ahead and put our fingers in place. We have our thumb and our thumb. Both of these are gonna go on the only two black pieces on this whole thing. It's super easy. Thumb and thumb on the black pieces, and as long as you don't mess it up and you do one of these things somehow, I don't know how this is possible, but don't do that. Right on the bottom, on the black, and then just let your hands curl around. Feel the notes. Kind of discover. What do you feel? What do you see? The only thing is,
I like these concave buttons.
right, the concave buttons, they are really, really, really nice. We see that in our right hand, we only have 3 buttons. Boom, super easy. But in our left hand, we've got 4 buttons. Now that's odd. Are we gonna put all 4 fingers down?
No. Was that?
That is correct. That is correct, Brady.
Ah!
He's a very brave student. We're gonna go ahead and skip that small key right here. It's a special key for later. We'll add it into the sauce eventually. Right now, we're just working with like potatoes, carrots, and celery.
We're not sauce yet.
No sauce. We're not throwing in the sauce yet. We'll get
I
the
like
sauce
the
later.
sauce. I like
The
the
sauce comes with the rest of the saxophone. Now, with all of our fingers pushed down on our left hand, so we're doing 1, 2, and 3, let's just play a sound with this. All right. That is beautiful. Now, this is a G. We're going to call it a G.
G.
So this is going to be our first note, G. We're also going to call it 3. They rhyme, so it's going to be easy to remember.
G.
G and 3. All right, that's going to be G. We're going to learn another note now. Let's go ahead and lift up our ring finger. So we have 1 and 2 pressed down instead. And let's experiment with what sound we can make with this. Let's go ahead and have Brady play first. Let's see what kind of sound we can make. That was beautiful. And a great release, too. I mean, we got to compliment the student when he does something great like this. I mean, it is just fantastic.
What can I say?
Let's go ahead and lift up our last finger, Mr. Speedster over here. So we've got G,
G.
and then we've got A,
A.
and then we've got B.
B.
B, A, G,
Bag.
G, A, B.
We got it.
Gab.
We got it in the bag.
Right. So let's see, with just the small amount of time that we have left in our class, let's go ahead and do a little groove sesh. We're going to play a nice little song. I'm going to go ahead and just like make up a song with you, and let's make it 4 measures using only our first 3 notes. I'm going to go ahead and start and do the first four beats, and then you're going to have 4 beats to do your solo with the first 3 notes. And then I'm going to do another solo, and then you're going to do a solo with only these 3 notes. And that's going to be our little jam sesh for today. A little improv. Get into the jazz world. Feel your inner John Coltrane. All right. I'm going to do the first 4 measures, and then you've got 4 measures, and then vice versa. 1, 2, ready. 2, ready, and you. Very nice. Now it's my turn. Ready, and go. Ready, and. We got a little crazy in the sauce. Let's go ahead and end off with a nice note. Let's play our G. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, ready, and G. Wonderful. And that's going to be our little lesson for the end of the day. Thank you, Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Edmonds.